Well, as you can see, folks, we've got some breaking news. Qantas has posted a record $2.5 billion worth of underlying profit. Joining us live now, our business editor, Ross Greenwood. Big numbers, Ross?
Yeah, big numbers, Pete. We're here at Qantas headquarters and these numbers have just been released. Qantas has really blown its former record profit of around $1.6 billion out of the park. $2.47 billion, that's earnings before interest and tax on an underlying basis. And the other side of this is it really largely is as a result of cost cutting, around $1 billion worth of costs that came out during that COVID period. Now, as a result of what's taken place today and the amount of money that Qantas is now making, it's embarked on a pretty significant change in the way in which it deals with not only customers but also with its aircraft fleet. So, for example, Qantas has today said it's ordered 12 new Boeing 787s and 12 Airbus A350s, effectively to replace its A330 aircraft. And in the future, the A380s will also be replaced. So that's significant money that Qantas will spend. But then for the flyers themselves, obviously, there's been big issues in terms of loyalty and reliability at Qantas and other airlines during this period of time. And so Qantas has decided to give to frequent flyers 1 billion points. And so if you get onto your app pretty shortly, I would suggest, you'll suddenly find out how many of those billion points you have earned yourself. So that's one other thing that's happened. The other issue here is also that Qantas has said it's set $340 million aside for its staff. So it's got 21,000 staff. Of course, they've been through tough times during that COVID period. Many of them stood down and or laid off. And so as a result, they too will have bonuses that will come from this record profit here at Qantas today.
OK, I'm on the app now, Ross. You're right. I have a thank you gift from Qantas. There you go. Some points available there.
How many points did you get, Pete?
5,000 points. Is that a lot?
5,000 points, there you go. I don't know. I'm going to check and have a look at my own very shortly and see what that is.
It's nice to get a little,
see, this is interesting, isn't it? So yeah. That's exactly right. So a little later today, we'll hear from the Chief Executive, Alan Joyce. Of course, these are the last results that Alan Joyce will have before Vanessa Hudson takes over as the Chief Executive of Qantas. So we'll hear certainly about those reliability issues. One thing I can tell you is that domestically, Qantas will say that its flying now is back to pre-COVID levels, more than 100% of capacity. And so that's one issue that may start to take a bit of pressure out of the domestic fares. With the international, it's not quite back there. And of course, there is that big issue about Qatar Airways wanting more flights into Australia. And we'll certainly hear from the Qantas boss and his reaction to that as well.
Yeah, you got that class action as well that they face at the moment. Just finally, are you expecting a bump in the share price today, Ross, or has it all sort of already been baked in?
Well, a lot of it's been baked in because, remember, there had been previously a forecast of this record profit that Qantas would release. The only thing I will say is it's at the top of the guidance. And so from that point of view, it certainly hasn't undershot where Qantas previously had said this profit would be. It's pretty much at the top of that band that they'd previously expected. And so as a result, certainly you would suggest that there's nothing here that will be disappointing the stock market today.
OK, Ross Greenwood, across it all, as always, thank you.